Slancha Productions. Whistler Games presents, in association with Theory of a Blind Man, hashtag Blind Gamer Geek Out.
Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Theory of a Blind Man. I hit the wrong mute solo button. Anyway, I got a special show for you. We got a few gentlemen here and one asshole. You can guess who is who. We got the Blind Jedi, aka Jay Smith. What up, Jay
AKA
Smithy?
obviously the asshole. That's all good.
And of course, we got Mr. Joe Quirk here, Mental Vision LLC. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
Cool. And our special guest tonight, last minute booked because just the force is with me. And I am the force. We've got Liam Irvin, the creator of Grand Theft Accessible, which is, it blew my mind when I saw this tweet earlier today because as Joe and everybody else knows on the planet, I've been hounding people for this damn game, and it's not even its own game. It is actually Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's modded out. So Liam, thank you for coming on, man.
So thanks for saving the a-hole for the last, intro. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm glad that you're excited about it. A lot of people have been very excited about the mod, and the response that I've gotten is pretty overwhelming. Needless to say.
Nice. Yeah, like today, for it to come out today is just, for me personally, yeah, I know it's a video game, everybody, but for me, it's kind of a
early birthday present,
saving grace, I guess you could say. So it's really helpful. Like I was telling you before the show, Liam, this was the last game that I played when I had sight, and it was also my favorite game playing video games ever, besides the original Mortal Kombat on Genesis.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course.
So yeah, I'm just like, don't we know you? Like, hey, dude, I'm eternally grateful for a video game. It sounds so silly, I know, but little things like this, it's
no, and
huge.
I've heard that. I've heard that from
huge.
people that had vision and said, I used to play GTA when I had vision. So you're not the first person to say that to me. So it is. I mean, it is kind of cool to know that. Yeah, you have that effect on people, and it, it's definitely, it's not a flawless mod. It has some issues, but as I had mentioned to you before the show, it is more than what we had a couple days ago. It's more than what was out there, and my hope is that it will be a catalyst to be able to go to studios and be like, listen, look at what the modding community has done to make your game give
accessible
information for a blind, for blind people. Why can't you do this?
Right.
There's nothing stopping you now.
You know
Absolutely.
why? You know why? Because the same reason why I started my own gaming company was because I got tired of developers saying there's no market for the blind community, and not to brag, but 102 countries and 37,000 downloads. There's a market here. And My True Sound is proving it also. And I'm sure when Purple Jam puts out Pitch Black this year, it's gonna blow people's freaking minds. And we all come together in a community to make things come to reality, and we prove to developers, hey, looky here, look what we're doing. See?
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like Grand Theft Auto goes, such a big that's like Rockstar's flagship game.
Right.
And for them not to have to alter the original game, but all you have to do is mod it over, that's mind blowing. And Liam, here, you do this on your free time.
It started as an experiment, actually. I was like, I wonder if this would work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of curious because I had gotten a new video card back in February. I had upgraded my machine. I put some new RAM in here, and I put a new card in here. And I'm like, I wonder, now that I have a card that's not from 2009, literally, the video card I have, I looked, it was manufactured in 2009.
Wow.
It was a GeForce 210.
Wow.
And so I'm like, all right, I wonder if A, I can run Grand Theft Auto. I should be able to. And B, what is out there to make it do stuff? Because I know that there is a modding community. I know people have done things. So let's go see what we can do. And I got the game for like $10 on G2A. It was like a really cheap. I just got a key, and I'm like, all right, let's try this out and see what happens. And I had found that there was the ability to mod. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's do this and see what happens.
Nice. Really quick, I already got a bunch of chats building up and get this really quick. Greg Keefe, welcome, dude. Roman, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing good. What's up, bro? Connie, welcome, Connie. Greenheart, you too.
My buddy.
Not my real name. In my background right now on my green screen. Matter of fact, Amy will know. This is the painting she painted for me, which is
Aussie.
Oi. She actually sent it to me all the way from Australia, and it's a tactile painting.
Wow.
So I got that up on the green screen right now. Amy, I hope you're doing well, and we all know why. Talented HV, welcome. Haley, how you doing?
Welcome.
Yeah, very true. Not my real name.
Word to your mother.
Oh, okay, there we go. Come on, quick nav. Roman says to Liam.
Well, you have
Liam, thanks.
Yeah, you have a lot of chats coming in.
What's that?
You have a lot of chats coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for creating this awesome mod. How do I download it? You did a really great revolutionary job. Well, you can actually go to the video, which is linked in this description box. Hold on, Joe, I got it. And then if you click on that, it'll take you right to Liam's 17-ish minute video, which describes everything.
And
it's also linked.
If you are like near your address bar now and you just want to go read about it, obviously, keep watching the show. Don't go anywhere. But GTA11y.com.
There you go.
And you can go read up on the mod. I love on the download page. There's like 4 links just to read the manual. Have you read the manual? Make sure you read the manual. If you don't read the manual, it's like I have it in there like 4 times. So you can read the manual, and please do.
Manual, he's not going to answer it.
No, I mean, because look, it's like when you get the same question 50 times, and it's something that you have put in a manual, it gets very frustrating because it's like, guys, I just answered this like 49 times, and it's already it's there. You can read it.
Yeah. Hugs to you too, Amy. Thanks for coming in. The Blind Advocate Network. Hey, Armando. All right, so we got caught up there. Cool. Now, what's the website again?
GTA 11Y.
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 Yeah, it's Grand Theft A11Y.
Yeah.
GTA 11Y. Yeah. Look, I wasn't gonna get GrandTheftAccessibility.com.
No.
I thought that was a little too large of a domain. It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No.
And it sounds too narrow, I guess you would say.
Plus, how many people can spell accessibility, like without screwing up the spelling of it? So, like, I'm like, some people get annoyed by this A11Y stuff. I'm cool with it because, like, I can never remember how to spell accessibility correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So it works for me.
Is that where I11Y came from?
That's the I-1. You've got what is it? I-18N for internationalization.
Right.
So and then you've got A11Y for accessibility. There's a term for that. I forget what it's called now. Some people call it dumb, but there's something for that. I don't know what it is.
Huh. Never knew that. Interesting.
Right. I got a question for Liam. I think everybody's kind of maybe curious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just talking about the first time I played Grand Theft Auto on a computer. It was the very first launch, and it was you didn't have a guy walking around. You just used cars. Had to do missions and whatever, and it was badass. But you had you had you know, you guys play, I don't know if you've seen it before, but you you're playing you're playing where you could see down instead of now
Top-down
it's
view.
yeah, and now it's like a, you know, third person view.
Right.
But did you when you wrote the mod, when you did that, did you use a certain type of software, or did GTA have uh, a unit, like an engine that you
So
use?
there's a group of people that have made a script hook, and the script hook essentially exposes information from the game, and so I built on top of that.
Okay.
And so it's literally just a DLL that's written in C sharp. And
Okay.
but I mean, you know, I was very fortunate because like sometimes people come to me, and now I get this a lot, like, can you mod this game? Can you make this game work? And I have to explain, listen, it's not like you just look at the game and start
Right.
pulling stuff out of it. I like to use games that have a, you know, modding community that have been working on it and doing things. And certain games, like especially online games, so like I get asked a lot, will you do Fortnite? And the answer is no, because Fortnite's not gonna let me go in
Right.
and pull data out of it. So like one thing about this mod is you cannot use Grand Theft Auto Online, which is really unfortunate, but I think it's like a small price to pay.
Use your
Right.
data.
And what I've talked to Jesse Anderson, when he goes to conventions and stuff, and he runs into the GTA team, you know, they are well aware that their game, you know, is uh, wanted by our community. So they're trying. And same thing with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
They got creators of Mortal Kombat. They're well aware of our community and how eager we are to play, and so it's not like they're trying to hide it from us. So I'm sure if there's a way for someone like you, Liam, to you know, add on to the mod to make it accessible for people just to play, there are people out there, developers, willing to give you a chance if you want to do it yourself. They just
Yeah,
don't
I
want
mean,
to.
I think it depends too. I mean, it depends how open someone is, and it depends, you know, how serious they are. But I mean,
Right.
this is one of those things where like I didn't go to Rockstar, I didn't go to anybody and be like, I want to do this. I just like looked up the information on how to mod, and I just did it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Curious.
And
Yeah.
Roman asks, so we have to buy.
Yeah, you have to own the
Yes,
game. I mean, it's no
you
different
have
than
to.
like any other game. It's just a mod that goes on top of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 10 or $12 you can find it online.
You can you can get Grand Theft Auto 5 for peanuts now.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, not literal peanuts, but like I mean, it's cheap enough
Matter-
where you're not paying $60 like you would have for the retail price of the game.
Yeah. I just, who was it? I got the link. In something games, I just traded 8 rolls of toilet paper for it. I'm good.
That's a high price tag, bro.
I know, right?
You overpaid.
Yeah.
Smoke writes in and says marmalade.
I've never seen Smoke in here before, but welcome, Smoke.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Smoke.
I don't know what marmalade is referring to, but hey, all jelly and no toast. What are your thoughts, Jason, on GTA?
I think the fact that you did this, Liam, is incredible. I've been hearing Whistler talk about it from day one since I met him. I remember Grand Theft Auto 2. I stopped playing video games a while ago, but like the first video game I played since my sight has gotten as bad as it is Circus Master's Revenge from Joe Quirk. So I'm really excited because I didn't get the update of what the show was about until I got on. But I can't wait to try this out, dude, because it's one of the games that I remember too.
Yeah,
That
it's,
was
I mean,
just,
you know, it's fun. I wish
Yeah.
I wish it was a game that everyone could pick up and play, and that it wasn't an issue with like graphics cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing I've been telling people, like, so do I get the game? And I'm like, well, before you get the game, you might want to make sure that your computer is going to run this, because
Yeah.
this isn't like getting an audio game. Like you do need graphics power.
Yeah.
right.
What graphics card would you recommend?
The better. I mean, definitely if you're using integrated graphics, forget it. Although some people might be like, well, you know, what about AMD graphics, blah, blah, blah. I've got a GeForce 710 and it runs it okay, I guess. Obviously we've got that frame skipping on that video, but I mean, it'll run it well enough to play it. But I mean, any modern card should be fine. And you can always check on GTA11y.com in the frequently asked questions section. I do have a link to the recommended and minimum specifications for the game from Rockstar. So you can
That
look
sounds
that
cool.
up and see if your system meets those.
Right on.
I
Now-
I oh go ahead. Sorry. Right.
So I kind of watched them backwards, but I watched your 17-minute video, then I watched your 1 hour 47
Yeah.
minute video.
It's really the best way to do it because the 1 hour, that was just me messing around on Twitch. Like I was just like, let's
Yeah.
just mess with this, see what happens. And then I got like people emailing me going, hey, this is a really cool video, but it's too long. Could you do something that's more streamlined? And I've been so busy with, our friend Corona that I haven't had time to do anything. And so
Hey, my friend.
I released the mod yesterday, actually, yesterday morning. And then I worked on the video today. I just sat down and just hammered it out, and so we're getting that too. Because some developers have even asked me too, like some indie developers, like, "Hey, this is really cool. Could you do something that's a little more developer friendly? Because I don't have 2 hours to sit and watch you fumble around in GTA, but I would like to see what you've done and how you're doing it." And so that was one of my reasons for putting the video up, was being like, hey, this is a streamlined.
Yeah.
And I get a little distracted at the end when I'm jumping off the mountain. I mean, it's,
That was so cool. When you took the police car off the mountain, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, in the old, I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah.
We took a police car and I tried to drive it down the mountain.
That was so funny.
That wasn't in this one, but yeah, and
Yeah.
and then I was messing around with the blow up everything button.
Yeah.
Um,
When you went from the hour and 47, when was that one done? When did you do that?
That was done like a few weeks ago. I want to say 2, 3.
Okay.
So I
Because-
mean, there weren't a lot of changes made between then and now, but
was
I like this one because you can sit down and watch it, and in 20 minutes you're done. And it covers everything that I feel is important, as opposed to me like floundering around answering questions, saying, "Hey, does this work? What does this do?"
Right.
What changes
plus,
of the mod
besides,
did you get from that point up until now? Like, I know you mentioned some, I can't remember off the top of my head, but you talked about some changes that you were going to implement in the final
Right.
not
So
final,
I
but
ended up
release.
not doing a lot of the changes I wanted to do, and it was just because I've been so busy I haven't had time to code. So I was like, you know what? I could sit here and I can make everyone wait another month, or I can put this version out as it is now, and then we can, as time is available, I can work on making updates. So one thing I'd like to do is I want to add a feature where if you're in a car and you want to go somewhere, instead of teleporting you, because it'll actually currently teleport your car.
Yeah.
I was going to actually make it auto drive to the location.
Oh, that's cool.
So it would be like having a taxi.
And you
That'd
can
be
still
awesome.
do the drive-by shootings and all that great stuff.
Yeah. So because of the way, without getting really technical, if you tell like a character to do something, you can't control that character until it's done doing whatever it's doing, or until you cancel the task. So you would not be able to do drive-bys unless you spawned a driver and put your guy in the passenger seat. And I'm not going to get super crazy with that. I'm just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wanted to make something where it would drive you, or if you wanted, you could just cruise and your guy would just kind of drive around aimlessly. And there's a lot I'd like to do. I wanted to do it right instead of rushing it. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just make that a major update. I might add some more locations if I'm missing some locations that people want or whatever. But it runs the gambit. You can get every vehicle in the game if you want to spawn one. Like if you want a helicopter and you want to try and fly around with it.
When you say missing locations, do you mean like locations on the map, or
So
what are you referring to?
you can teleport.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to drive from point A to point B. I mean, it's not going to really happen. So you might want to go somewhere in particular. So you might want to go to like, the
Trailer
top of the
park.
mountain or
Or
something,
something.
or the trailer park or wherever. So you can just warp there. It's
I
kind
had-
of
I
like,
had-
have you ever heard of a trainer?
Yeah.
Like they talk about trainers a lot. This is kind of like a cross between an accessibility mod and a trainer. So it has features that a trainer would have, like God mode and unlimited ammo and stuff like that. And then it's also got accessibility features. It's kind of like, as I was building it, I'm like, what do I want?
Right.
Because that's where I started. I'm like, what do I want that I'm going to enjoy, in this game? Okay, well, I want a feature where I don't die. So how about we put that in? And then as I started building it, I'm like, maybe I can make this so that other people can play it.
Yeah. Logan,
Right.
we're not talking about that game tonight. If you want information, you can get in contact with Joe.
What's up, Logan? I had an idea though, because I watched when I watched your video, Liam, I was laughing my ass off. It was hilarious for me anyway, because you were like, I drive like this. I drive like this when I. You're like, I drive like this. People don't like me when I drive, and you're just running people down.
Well, I have driven a car, and I think I drove.
Yeah.
I drove somewhat similar to that. So
Yeah, I was laughing, but I had an idea. So when you at the end of the video, when you're asking, hey, if you guys have an idea, so for the car mode to like to do destinations or whatever, maybe implementing like a taxi mode, where so you can click on you can click on taxi mode or whatever, and then you get into a car and automatically or airplane or wherever it is.
yeah, essentially that's what I want to do with auto drive.
Like
And
a taxi mode,
I had started on it, and I hadn't completed it. I'm like, you know what? Let's just kind of hold off till I know it works.
Yeah.
But essentially, I want to build it so that if you're in a car and you want to go somewhere, you click a button and it'll just drive you, and you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. And one of the cool things about GTA 5 is you can set how your character drives, so you can tell him, well, I want him to be cautious, or I just want him to run every light and just run everything in his way down.
Yeah, like
And so those are things. Those are things I
okay.
want to be able to set. So that I would say, like when there's a major update, that's what you'll see. Right now, it's a lot of patching, making sure that everything works, talking to people, like because right now you sort of need a number pad to play, and so I'm getting people that are like, well, how am I going to play without a number pad? And I'm like, well, why don't you help me come up with a key scheme?
There you go.
Right.
So stuff like that. So it's one of those things where I'm really trying to pad out the stuff. Like, oh, we also need a speedometer. There's no speedometer. I don't know how fast you're going.
Why do you? I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah.
I don't know
it's
why not. I think speedometers are cool.
Well, unless there's a mission in the game where you have to keep like the movie Speed, where you have to keep the car at a certain or the whatever you're driving at the time at a certain speed, or you'll die. Or
Sometimes speedometers are
maybe.
nice if you want to know if you're because I know sometimes like I'll spin my wheels and I'm going somewhere and I'm really not.
Oh yeah.
So it is kind of nice to know that you
know what?
are
Yeah,
moving.
That's true.
Okay.
That is a very. It would be
Yeah.
good for visual streaming gameplay as well.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Nvidia or Radeon graphic card for GTA? Do you think?
Oh man, so Smoke just posted here in the chat touting a Radeon. I'm an Nvidia guy, but I also I have nothing against Radeon. I mean, I think they're both good cards. It's kind of like, for me, it's vanilla or chocolate. I'm an Intel guy. I've always been an Nvidia guy, but AMD is probably going to be my next processor, because without going off like too far in a tangent, like the prices for AMD processors are insane right now, and what you get is insane. They're killing Intel. So.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
What's the comparable to the i7 or i9?
Yeah, I mean, like the i7s are crazy, and they're like 8-core i7s for decent prices.
Well, Whistler and I was talking. I don't want to change the subject if you guys want to keep talking about that, but I told Whistler, I said I don't play games on my computer because that's my work computer, and if I sit there, I'll end up starving to death, because I don't want to play games and have to. That's my office. So so he said, well, they have like a remote, like a PlayStation remote or whatever you can use on your computer. Would you be able, instead of using your keyboard to like press 1 to change weapons or whatever, would you be able to use a PlayStation remote with the mod?
You can. I use for Grand Theft Auto, I use a gamepad because everything's mapped to the features, and so it makes sense to have my left stick for movement, my right stick for aiming and turning. So I always tell people, if you can get a gamepad, especially on the cheap, if you can get something, it will make your life easier, because it's hard to play this game with a keyboard.
Yeah, if you watch his, I think it was your first video on it, how you talk about. Oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't you. It was another. So I went on that little rabbit hole of finding, because I've got a PS4 and I want to know if I can use PS4 DualShock for this game. And I found this guy talking about just that thing, why you want a gamepad, especially for GTA, because you're tapping A or D instead. Because if you hold it, boom, you go all the way. You know,
Yep.
if you hit W, boom, you're full speed.
And
so
if you're driving, you can use the triggers to actually decide how much acceleration you're putting in
Yeah.
your car. And yeah, I mean, granted, I hold triggers down all the way. I have two speeds: stop and fast.
Yeah. Really quick before Jason's got to get out of here. I don't know what time it is, but do you mind if I play some of your 18-minute video?
Sure, go ahead. Hello and welcome
Get on
to
out
this
of here,
demonstration of the Hello and I'm going to take a look at Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, and I do want to say before we start that this is Grand Theft Auto, so there may be some graphic content. So if you are bothered by such stuff, it might be a good idea
Let's go pick up a hooker.
to hit stop. But with that out of the way, let's go over to story mode. I tried that and I ran her over. It didn't go very well. We're going to get into this, so I will see you guys in the start, and I'm going to describe the functions of this mod. Now, I'm not going to give the actual keyboard commands. They could change. There could be, changes made, or things could be modified slightly. So what I'm going to do instead is just kind of talk about what the keys are doing as I'm pressing them. So
Now, I don't know if anybody at home watching this has headphones or earbuds on, but when you listen to these games nowadays, the directional sound
it's amazing.
amazing. It's just like you can hear exactly. I was listening to when you're targeting people on one of your.
Yep.
I remember this one before, but you can. That person's at 11 o'clock. Boom, you got them. 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Yep.
You can tell exactly where they're at. It's amazing.
if I want to know
I thought that was you talking at first.
It was
where
him
I
talking
am,
at first.
I can press
No, in real time, man.
I know, I'm messing with you.
the key to get nearby location information. Yes, I can.
Current location, Atlee ST, Mission Row.
If I want to know the time, I
Really?
can press a key for that. Yeah, Liam, you
The
can.
time is 10:53.
I can also get information on which cardinal direction I'm facing. I
Facing
can.
west-southwest.
All right, so that's good to know. So now I can also find out what is around me. And as somebody that's visually impaired and blind, I mean, this is stuff that you want to know. Visually impaired
So,
and blind.
Yeah.
Both. Not just one.
Like blind in one eye and visually impaired in the other.
I meant to say visually impaired, then I'm like, because I usually just refer to it as blind, and I'm like, well, am I going to
Yeah.
go back? But I do like, so I do like the whole vehicles thing. I do like that this is possible.
Yeah.
We'll start with vehicles.
Nearest vehicles, 22.2 meters west, 1.7 meters below, a stationary police cruiser. 25.6 meters west.
Now the voice, the synthesizer or a speech engineer using, is that just your JAWS or NVDA?
No, that's one of the Windows voices.
Okay. Well, I know, but when you're actually playing the game,
So that's coming through. Yeah, that's coming through NVDA, and I've just got that set to. I've got that set to go through NVDA, and the library it'll use JAWS, it'll use NVDA, it'll use SAPI, whatever
cool.
you've got.
what I'm wondering is because in a second here you'll start hearing certain sounds that are particular to your scripts. Are those NVDA or JAWS? Or
Are you referring to the
like elevation targeting?
That's all done by the mod. So the mod plays all the sounds.
And is that going through just your regular sound card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
It doesn't use the game's audio engine. It's using a separate because the game won't let you play external files easily without a bunch of hacking.
Gotcha.
But it's same thing really.
Does GTA 5? Well, I haven't played it, or even like listened to a video of somebody playing it or whatever. If you wear headphones, is it 3D audio, like where you can hear?
I think it's supposed to be.
It's
Okay.
very damn
That would help.
close. I mean,
Yeah.
put both your earbuds in and listen right now. You can hear it.
No, I got both
Southwest,
earbuds.
1.8 meters below, a stationary
car?
police cruiser. 30.1 meters northeast,
from behind to
2.6 meters below, a moving Washington. 41.4 meters south, 2.3 meters below, a
So-
stationary.
Yeah. So you've got it's giving you all the.
Well, I had a question about the
Did I hear
direction thing,
Mhm.
because it said this whatever 44 degrees, whatever northwest, whatever north, whatever. But it says above or it says below, and I don't understand what is that.
So
above you, in
because
front
it's
of you, or what is
because
it?
it's
I don't
3D audio, or because it's a 3D game,
Yeah.
you have things that might be on a hill. You have things that you might be standing in a parking garage, and so there might be a car that's a level below you.
Oh, elevation. Okay.
Right. So it's giving you the elevation
I got you.
along with your forward, back, left, and right.
Oh, that
And
makes
that's one of
sense.
the
Because originally it didn't do this, and so like you'd be like, wait, it says I'm 2 feet from a car. Where's the car? But what you don't realize is the car is actually a level below you.
right.
Okay.
And there's I think it's in this video as well, but he does the elevation indicator.
I do towards the end. Yeah.
Okay.
When he jumps off the
That.
cliff without a
1,
parachute.
0.
It's that it tramp. It processes an area that pulls up more like English friendly names, but they're not actually like, they don't say cop or they don't say homeless person. They say
That's
for you.
Cloud East, 16 point.
And I turn around and sense more as to why I'm doing that in a minute. So I can also hit the key for objects here. And of course, then I gotta wait.
there's
I
no
feel
nearby
silly.
Rest objects.
There we go.
2.8 meters south-southeast, 1.4 meters above. Prop wall light 03A. 4.1 meters south-southeast, 1 meters below.
I mean, this opens so many ideas that I got flooding through my head
Yeah.
that it would take 1,000 of you to make what I'm thinking of. Like, I was just thinking about the objects. Well, you could pick an object and hit your targeting key. What is that? L1, or the left shoulder key, and then just have that like a homing signal or something, and so you know where it's at until you.
Oh yeah, I
approach
mean,
it.
there's so many things
So
that could
many
be
things
done
you
with
do.
this.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I'm only like a month and a half into it. I mean, there's people have been like,
amazing.
can you make things that will give you that will put an object, give you like a 3D sort of like homing beacon on where that object is. There's so many things that can be done.
Yeah.
And endless possibilities.
Yeah.
And again, because you just did this demonstration, this will show Rockstar and EA and all
Exactly.
of them what it's just the possibilities are endless.
And I mean, I'm limited too by what, because I'm making a mod and because I'm not working with the game directly, I'm limited by what the script hook can pull. I'm limited by the information I can get from the game. But I mean, theoretically, somebody that is working with the code has no limits and could do all these things, way more efficiently, and could even do features that I can't even dream of.
and even rewrite the code or mask the code to identify objects, people, and cars, and sort of thing.
No, I mean, I know from talking to people, especially talking to Able Gamers people, Rockstar actually did explore this.
Oh, really?
They did explore the concept of modifying the engine to do a lot of these accessibility things. What they found was it would take so much work rewriting parts of the engine that they would end up spending to pay programmers about $150 million.
But you did it for free in how long?
A month or so. But the thing to keep in mind is that it's not how the industry works. So like when someone wants work done, they are billed for that work and they, have that work done. And so they realized that the amount of money that they would spend, and it was really their own fault because they did not think about it from the beginning. It would not make sense to do it from a economical standpoint.
So why couldn't they then? Let's just hypothetically speak. They hired you on as an independent contractor to write these mods.
Right.
So couldn't they just allow you NDA access, non-disclosure access to their code so you can write these mods?
Possibly. I don't, again, I have not really worked in the industry much. I have worked as a programmer for 8 years, but it was doing business programming. But I do know from the work that I did for the business, what usually happens is a company will come to you and go, we want this done. And so what you then do is you sit down and you have to come up with the amount of hours that's going to take, and then you bill the company for those hours. And so the way that programmers work, and especially like in mainstream real world, is they'll say to the programmer, we want you to do this to our engine. So the programmer will take a look at what they want done, what's involved, and we'll give them an estimate. We'll give them a cost estimate before it's even done. And then if that cost estimate is approved, then they go in and do the work. But no one, especially in the gaming industry, no one works for free. No one works for charity, because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Whereas a modding community, they just do it for the fun of it. So
Right.
I did it for the fun of it. I did it just to see if it would work. But
Right.
you know, if a company is going to come to be like, "Would you do this?" Well, they're going to obviously pay me to do it. You would hope they'd pay you to do it. You know, God only knows. But you know, they're going to also look at, is this economically feasible? Are we going to get a return on our investment, or is this something that we should not do?
What I don't get too is like there's almost a double standard here, not standard, but a double bonus here when they put forth something like, hey, look how accessible this game is. That's going to draw more attention whether you're blind or not. Like, oh my god, they're going to
Well,
that extra.
It will. Of course, the $1 billion question is, will it draw enough attention, and will it generate enough revenue to cover the cost of what you spent in the first place? So if I spend $1 million to improve accessibility, that's great. But am I going to make that million back?
Yeah.
Well, think
And-
about it. But think about it this way, Liam and Whistler. If you make a video game, and for, let's say, the general public, right, a sighted person who has arms and legs and a brain and fingers to play with, you know, a normal person with all their senses.
Mainstream.
Yeah. Okay. And you make it suitable for accessibility. Maybe not voice over, and you don't have to be that way. Some games don't have to be that way. But if you make a game that has 3D audio, real time audio, where somebody could wear a pair of headphones or whatever, and it's they because we, you know, blind people in general, we use sound more than we can use our eyes. Some people don't have any vision, so we have to use our ears and our touch and our senses to kind of get around where we're going, to navigate and whatever. So if we add a certain atmosphere to the game, then you don't have to put so much stuff into the game to make it.
Well, you do, because with
playable.
the game, especially three-dimensional stuff, the sound is nice, but it's not telling you if it's above or below you. It's not telling you what it actually is. I mean, that's Grand Theft Auto has 3D sound. You can walk
Right.
around the world, but you don't know, is there a vehicle here? Is there a cliff here? Is there a door here?
No warnings. Yeah.
You know, there's just, you don't have sounds for everything, because why would you?
Yeah.
It's just not realistic. A door,
But-
when you're walking past the door, the door, like your kitchen door, does not make a constant creak, creak, creak sound as you're in the kitchen. It just
Right.
doesn't.
Yeah.
But-
And so it doesn't make sense from a realistic standpoint to do that.
That's a lot of extra work, too.
But you didn't I didn't get to finish. So, but if you make a game accessible in that format, it'll increase the quality of the game for the general people, because they'll be able to enjoy the audio format, and it'll seem more realistic while they're watching the screen while they're playing. You know, so it'll be
Well, and again,
more.
that just goes back to what I
Yeah.
said though about realism. So you have that realism, but if you have creaky doors that tell you there's a door nearby, that's not realistic, because your door doesn't, like I said, it doesn't sit there and go ring, ring, ring constantly. I
Right.
hope not. That's not good. if it
Unless it's
does.
windy.
Right. But so I mean, like I said, the issue is that there's not enough mainstream gamers to make it financially feasible for companies to do that. And so my plan is, I think we should build a satellite that fires a concentrated pulse of energy that blinds 50 million people.
There you
And
go.
then what will happen is they'll all want to play games because it's what they've been doing, and these companies will have to modify their games for that. So if you want to donate to my satellite, you know, do that, because honestly, I think that's the best way we're going to get mainstream access. I've always said the two ways to get you know, access are education and litigation. And I hate
Awareness,
litigation.
yeah.
I always hate it. I hate when we get to the point where we have to like mandate
Like-
something. But the reason that
Right.
we have Madden 20 that talks, the reason we have any sort of talking menus in Mortal Kombat 11 is because of mandated accessibility. So sometimes it's all you can do. But it is nice when a company does go, especially like indie developers, when they go, hey, we're really interested in doing this. What do we need to do? And I mean, and I always tell people, like, if there's an indie game you like that's made by a small company, talk to them and go to them, because they are interested. Because whereas 100 sales does not mean anything to Rockstar, 100 sales means a lot to a guy that works in his house and is making games.
Yeah.
Mental Vision games. Or even My True Sound.
Do you know about what part the cliff is, or the mountain?
So I video, we're going to turn that on.
Was that the
Super
end?
jump. Off.
We don't need. Oh yeah, we want that.
Super
we'll
jump.
want that for later.
Super
Yeah, actually, it's gonna go. So, vehicle here. Oh no! Like that, we are not. Oh no! Am I driving? This is horrible. All sorts of fun. What this mod has, which is targeting
West,
beeps.
southwest,
Oh, this is nice.
south.
Yeah, targeting, yeah.
So I can shoot at things and actually know that I'm aiming. Oh! There's a vehicle.
South.
All right, let's see if we can.
Southeast.
Sometimes
blowing
vehicles
shit up.
move and you can't.
East. Northeast. North.
Did you see as he turned directions the jackhammer, how it moved?
I
Yeah,
heard it, yeah.
look on to him.
Northwest. Southwest. Adams Apple Boulevard. West.
Ammo. Dude, but how far above the ground we are?
Southwest.
So those can be
west,
useful for
north,
knowing
north,
if you're
Northeast.
climbing a ladder,
East, southeast.
or if you're
Southwest.
falling.
South.
And I'm going to show you in just a second how they're really kind of useful. So I'll meet you guys on top of a mountain. So here we are on the top of the mountain. And I believe this is the highest point in the game. And this will actually, so this is not giving us our actual, like, absolute Z coordinates. This gives us a relative above the ground. So if I take a little jump here, let's see, I want to
Southeast.
face north.
Southwest. North.
So yeah, as I'm turning, it's announcing where I'm facing. There we go. I'm going to take a little jump here.
Northeast.
Ooh, I'm falling. Ooh.
North.
But at this point, I can take a big leap. Oh, didn't fall again. Maybe on the next one I will. Oh.
There you go.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, and oh.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, you
Going
can
down
He's still falling.
know if you're. Oh, there he goes. Oh, and he's rolling.
East. North.
And look, we can keep going down the mountain.
Keep going.
Now, I just pulled a parachute.
Michael SMG.
It didn't matter. Oh, I think it did. So we're. Oh.
It rolls downhill.
So I sort of broke the fall, but now I'm ragdolling down the mountain.
Northwest.
So, yeah, you can get a lot.
That's hilarious.
Blind Advocate
hilarious.
Network writes in, is this for the PC or the PlayStation? This is only for PC, so this will
PC
not
right
run
now,
on
yeah.
PlayStation or Xbox because, well, it's a PC mod.
Can you even mod Xbox or PC or?
You
You used to be able to.
you probably could, but by doing that, especially now with everything being so
It's illegal now,
interconnected,
yeah.
You'd probably get yourself kicked off Xbox Live.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not like
And then you might.
it's not like the old days where you could go get the mod chip and solder it to your
Yeah, right.
for the PlayStation 1, you could get that chip, put on the board,
Yeah.
and then like play burned games. I mean, I actually never did that. Truthfully,
Yeah.
I never actually did that. But you could do that. You could get a mod chip and
Yep,
play burned games.
I had
remember
friend-
we had to have the spring to hold open the lid.
That's right. Yes,
Remember
you had
that?
to have that piece.
Yeah.
I had friends
I had-
that had that. Yeah, I didn't own one.
I had friends that when I was in the Navy, we went to Hong Kong, and they all took their PlayStation out, and they come back with mod chips.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Like,
just you
holy
just
shit.
get them over there, and
Well, okay. Because I guess it's illegal to do it in the States. Nobody would touch it like that. Nobody, they figured a way to do it.
You could do it
They tried-
yourself. I mean, but over there they don't care. They'll just do it for you.
Yeah.
Name brand shouldn't matter. Performance is the only factor. Yeah, I mean, there's something to
So
say
I got
about
I
brands.
got a question
Go
about
ahead.
GTA 5 because I don't know the storyline. I haven't played since since San Andreas. I haven't played GTA.
Yeah.
So in GTA 5, are you the same character or
No,
is it
no.
like a
Every
different-
GTA game is always different people.
Yeah.
yeah.
GTA 5 actually you get to swap around between 3 characters, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of a neat, and it's like an interconnected storyline. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I mean, again, the one big issue that I do have to point out to people is that you're not going to be playing story mode with this. It's just not feasible because the story mode contains a lot of so the first mission out of the gate when you get through the prologue is follow a car, and that's just not going to happen.
Well, with the taxi mode, you could do it. With the taxi mode.
You don't get a waypoint to have it drive to follow it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh, I looked at that. I'm like, can I do this? And apparently the answer was no.
Okay.
But what you can do is on GTA
You need access
11y.com,
code to that.
you can get a save file, and it's a completed save file. It's 100% done, and so you can go explore Los Santos to your heart's content.
I downloaded that
Okay.
already.
Cool.
I haven't even purchased the game yet, and I already got that.
Oh, you already
documentation.
downloaded it?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go.
Well, make sure you keep the mod up to date when there's changes, because somebody emailed me too. They're like, my mod's not working. I'm like, well, did you update? They're like, wait, there's an update. I'm like, yeah, you got to keep checking.
Well, I downloaded the mod itself today.
Oh, cool. Okay, then you should have the
So,
current one. Yeah, you
Is
should be
there
good.
a place where people can find out when you release the updates?
You could follow me on Twitter. I did not make a separate account for GTA 11Y because to me that seemed superfluous. It didn't seem necessary.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
Do you have a forum for that on audiogames.net?
There's a forum that I've been putting updates on, but if you follow Twitter, Liam Irvin, LiamErven, you can follow me on Twitter, and I tend to post updates when I push out a new version of it. So
Logan,
Do you have a Facebook page, Liam?
I do, but it's private, so I don't add
Okay.
people to Facebook.
Okay.
It's kind of like my Facebook is for like family and close friends or people I went to
Yeah, I
school
hear
with.
I do the same thing.
Everybody does Facebook differently. But people, they'll be like, how can you add me to Facebook? I'm like, do I know you?
right?
I'm like, my Facebook's
That's why-
pretty private. Like I post like personal stuff up there, like pictures. And,
Yeah.
well, I mean, not dirty pictures because who wants to see that? But like,
Not me.
you know,
Have you ever heard the picture recognition for dirty pictures? It's kind of weird. Logan Humble says, I would like to see Liam make more games for mobile like Endless Runner. That would be
oh, I hate mobile game development. I really do. It sucks. I mean, I understand, like, because I hear that all the time. Like, can you make mobile games? And I'm like, I like myself too much to torture myself. But, like, I know that mobile games are, like, a big thing right now because it makes sense. Everyone's got a phone. You can take the phone with you. You can play the game no matter where you are. It just sucks
And you
to
don't-
develop.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend a ton of money on a console.
I just don't.
you know.
I haven't been able to justify it right now. Now,
I'd
maybe
love-
down the road I will. I don't know. I mean, there's one of me and about 50 things I'd like to do.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
love-
while you guys are donating for the satellite,
There you go.
maybe you can donate so I can figure out how to clone myself.
Yes.
Nobody wants to donate to your laser, man.
No, I think the laser's a really good idea. I think that is the smartest thing. If we blind everybody,
No, we just make a coronavirus that blinds everybody. That'd be easier.
I like my laser idea.
Or I mean, Logan says he just shot 40 ducks.
In a row without missing.
I guess so. I don't know.
I wonder how many free coins or tickets you got.
Natasha.
Hey, Agent Number Z
here.
writes in.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. She knows how excited I am about GTA as well. So it's
Agent Z,
thanks
how's
for
it
coming
going?
in. Appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm so used to reading messages from when I stream. So like I just look at them. Sorry, I'm not trying to steal your thunder or anything.
Oh no, not at all.
I used to. One of my friends was a Twitch streamer, and so he'd be playing games, and he didn't want to read chat messages. So I'd sit on Discord voice, and I'd read his chat messages for him.
There you go.
And it always blew his mind. He's like, dude, there's a blind guy reading me my chat messages, and he's doing it faster than like I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason and I go back and forth like that. Sometimes I'll be up in the top of the studio getting like screens or transitions ready,
Oh, yeah.
and he'll be down in the chat for me. So it's really cool. It works good that way.
It does. It's nice. It's nice to have somebody that can like do that for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Liam. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna see if Jason was still here.
Yeah, I'm listening.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting educated.
Educated, great. Awesome.
That sounds messy.
I'm pacifically trying to listen.
Pacifically?
Yeah.
Specifically, West Coast side.
Specifically specific.
Liam,
Liam, just for reference, I'm doing that on purpose. I don't speak like that.
Yeah. That's another
I don't
one of
spoke
those
that well.
jokes.
I don't spoke that well. Liam, have you heard anything about Steam? Is Steam going to be trying to become more accessible because their stuff is they got
Steam is a mess. It really is. I'm like, it's the bane of I think a lot of our existence. Is just it's so frustrating.
And I don't know why audio game developers are still choosing to put games on Steam.
You know, I understand why, but I don't understand I don't know if that makes sense. But like, I understand from a development perspective, it's easy to integrate. It's relatively secure. You know, you're getting digital rights management, and I understand that. But from the flip side, it's also really hard for the end user to use. And one of the things that I was taught in programming class when I took class in high school, and this is something I live by, which is you have to pretend that every user you have is 3 years old.
Exactly.
And you have to pretend that user is incapable of doing anything for themselves, and you have to do everything for them. And that's my belief in design. Is that you have to make things as easy as possible because you have to assume, and you'll assume it correctly a lot of times, but you have to assume that every user is stupid.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, no offense to you guys that are smart, but let's be honest, there is a lot of users that are not smart, and they want to consume content and they just want to do it as easy as possible. And so Steam
even
is
smart people who can navigate things. They still want things nice and quick too.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's times where I'm just like, look, I just want to use this.
Yeah.
You know, let me just use this. Why do I have to jump through hoops?
Right.
One question before I have to go. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm gonna have to get out of here in a minute, but I want to ask him.
Get on here.
Number one, when do you know of any Star Wars games out there on the PC that have been modded for it?
No.
I know an accessible Star Wars game. Someone sent me a link to one. I'll send it to you.
Awesome.
Oh, really?
And,
okay.
And secondly, when I find the one I really want to play, that could be your next project.
It all depends. You know, like I said, it all depends on a number of factors. So one of the things that I am looking at is, and this is early, but I'd like to do a more everybody game like that more people play. So one of the things that I'm playing with, and look again, don't quote me on this and don't be like, oh my God, Liam's doing this. Okay. Because I looked at this a couple months ago and I couldn't really get it to work, but it's one of those things where I'd like to try to make it happen. I would like to try for PC, again, this is just for PC, I would like to try to build a mod for Stardew Valley. And it's a very popular simulation game. It's a very relaxing farming game. A lot of people like it. It has a pretty good API. It has some inherent issues that I don't know if I can get around.
You're experimenting still.
But I would like to do it because I feel like it's a mainstream game that everyone can enjoy. My sister, who's not really a big gamer, she plays Stardew. So it's it's just a fun, comfortable game. Whereas like Grand Theft Auto, not everyone wants to blow someone's head off. I mean, and not everyone can. Not everyone's got the graphics card to do
when
it.
you write the mod, you just put in there the farmer with a shotgun blew her head off.
There you go.
Shot the cow.
Oh, don't tell people that. That was supposed to be a secret feature. Way to go. Thanks, Jason. You ruined it.
Blew her. I just tweeted it too. I'm sorry. Let me erase that.
Lost in the barn.
Don't worry. No one listens to me. So you're good.
What?
I said, don't worry. No one listens to me. You're good. Yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah, we
you
do.
fell for it.
Because you're the blonde Jedi. We all listen to you.
That's right.
Blonde Jedi.
I gotta bust your ass forever on that
That
one.
damn
It's
I and
funny.
O.
Well,
gets me every time.
much like Jason, I do have to run as well. It's almost 10 o'clock here, but I do want to thank you guys for having me, especially on short notice. It was really good to be here. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If I can, one more time, gta11y.com
Right on.
for the mod, and then follow me on Twitter, LIAMERVEN. And sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to say before Jason came in with his bye-bye stuff. I wanted to say that people, in my experience, the smart people who play video games have no common sense, and then the people who are just regular people, they don't have as many problems, but they are picky and they're stubborn. So it's always going to be a
Suppose,
off
yeah. I mean, I imagine so.
Well, I
Can't
guess
please
in that-
everybody,
in
right?
that logical thinking, I have no common sense. But anyway, thank you everybody
You're
for
not a
coming in, and
genius.
much appreciated. Liam, special
you so
thanks, man.
much.
I really do appreciate it, and love to have
Peace
you
out,
back
homie.
sometime.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'll
Nice
talk to you
meeting you,
guys soon.
Liam.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
work.
you too, Jason. Thank you. Thank you.
You got to
Thank
come
so
back.
much.
You got to come back for At the Blind Spot next month. And that'll be fun.
All right, we'll have to see about. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys and see. All right, thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
All right, take care.
All right, brother.
All right, everybody, hang out in the chat if you'd like to. I'll answer some questions if anybody got some. Otherwise, we'll be getting out here shortly.
That was fun.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Wizzle Dizzle. Joe, keep being Joe. Stay positive,
Yeah.
brother.
Right on, homie.
All right.
Wait until the volume's down before we talk.
I can't hear you. The music's too loud.
Agent Z%. We
Come on
missed
back
having
now.
you on
You
stream
hear?
too. Oh, that's the only chat.
That was fun.
Oh wait. Oh, I missed a couple bucks here and there. Logan.
What bucks?
Thanks for coming in, Logan. I've never seen you on my stream here. Much appreciated. Thanks for coming in. Don't
He's
forget
been
to
here before.
subscribe. I've never seen his name here before.
He subscribes to my YouTube channel and he
Then
posts.
you probably saw him on your channel.
No, but I think he found me here. I don't know where he found me. But I thought he was. I thought I heard him here before. I don't know. He talks about your channel on his channel. So
Well, it looks like that's it for the chat. So we are gonna get out of here. And until next time, I guess maybe we'll do the whatchamacallit, You Laugh, You Lose tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern
I got some jokes.
time. And we're gonna have a special guest. Probably next Friday, maybe the Friday after that. So we're starting getting some new contestants in. And yeah. Should be fun. So, until next time, everybody,
Stay safe.
don't forget, love is blind. Keep it blind.
beep.